Many sites provide the opportunity for subscribers to sign up to newsletters or participate in other email campaigns that a company may offer. PLUJO provides a bulk emailer module specifically designed to compose and send out these email messages. The bulk emailer can be found in the Marketing tab of PLUJO. Within the bulk emailer are 4 other modules. The Emails module allows you to compose, edit, and manage email messages. The Sent Messages module is a list of messages that have already gone out, where you can look at their status as well as stats for those particular campaigns. The Accounts module is used to set up different email addresses from which your bulk emails will be sent from. And the Template library is a library of all of the email templates that you can use. Let's begin with the Emails module. In the Emails module, you can compose your messages and then send them out. You of course have a list of your messages that are currently in queue to go out. You can preview these messages. You can duplicate a message, so if there's a particular email message that you will be using over and over again, you can duplicate that, and you can send your message as well. If you no longer need this particular email message, you can also delete it. Let's begin by previewing this particular message so that we can see what it looks like. To preview a message, you'll have this message sent to your email account or any other email account that you like. PLUJO automatically takes the email address of the person that's logged in. So in this case, I'm logged in, so my email address is showing here. If I had multiple people that I wanted to send this preview to, I could simply put a comma and then provide these email addresses after that, each with a comma in between them. I'll go ahead and send this to myself. And now that it's sent out, let's go and take a look at that email. So I've received the email, and I'll double click on it to open it up. And we can now see what this email message looks like. PLUJO allows your designers to determine the look and feel of each of your email messages. In this particular case, on the left-hand side, there's one column of information known as the main content. On the right-hand side, there are 2 boxes. There's an upper box of information here and a lower box of information as well. Let's go back to PLUJO and see how to edit this content. To edit the content of any email, you can click on the edit icon for that particular message. Under the Settings tab, you can provide the name for that email. No one will see this name, it's simply the name you saw in the list view previously. The subject is the actual subject of the message, so you'll want to make sure that this subject is relevant to your email campaign, informative to your end users of course, and that you have no words that may cause any spamming or trash can issues. Account refers to the email address from which this message will be sent from, and this is set in the Accounts module, which we saw earlier. In the Accounts module, you have the ability to create different email accounts from which your messages can be sent from, as I had mentioned. In this particular case, one was created called No Reply with this particular email address. We can look at the information provided for this account. These email accounts require a name, an optional department, from name. Again, this is what your users will see in the from part of the email that they receive. The actual email, the from email address, the reply email address, and the return email address as well. If you have any SMTP options that need to be set, you'll set them under the SMTP tab. So the host, the port for this email address, the username, and the password as well. And you can of course create multiple addresses if you need them. Under the New Email Account tab, you'll simply provide the information as I just shown you while we were editing the previous one. So let's go back to that email message. The template refers to the email template that you wish to use. In this particular case, they just have one template called Default Mail, but you can of course have multiple templates depending on the campaigns that you're sending out. Depending on how you've designed your email template, you'll have a series of content blocks in which this content will reside. In this particular case, they have an HTML content section, better known as the left-hand column, also a date section, a right column, this is actually a right upper column, and a right bottom column, as well as a tagline. Currently we have the HTML content section open, or the left-hand column, and as you can see here, the content is within this word-like editor, so you can add images, links, etc. Jumping back to the email, you can see that it's this left-hand column as I had mentioned. We can also take a look at the right-hand column. You can see we've got tech tips here with this image, and again looking at the email, tech tips with this image, and below it you can see we have the right-hand bottom column content, which is the Actionetics sponsorship, and we'll just take a look at that as well. So the Actionetics sponsorship. They've also got two other sections here. One is for dates and one is for the tagline, and they appear on the email here at the top. So the tagline is located here and the date is located here. So as you can see, editing any of the content within these boxes will then be reflected on the email itself. The plain text version tab refers to sending out a plain text version of the email. In most cases, you would just take the text that you had in the content sections and then paste that into this plain text version box. Some people prefer to receive plain text versions, and this is something which is required for all emails. If you make any changes, you can save them by clicking on the Save button. In this case, we haven't, so we'll just exit out of this email. You will, of course, want to preview your email just to make sure that it's exactly as you want it to be. And once you're happy with that, you can then send that email by clicking on the Send icon here. Before you send out your email, you're encouraged to read the Robinhood Technology Incorporated PLUJO Extended End User Agreement. And once you've done that and agree with the terms, you would then simply choose which email list you want to send to. In this case, there's only one, the Actionetics newsletter. Clicking on here then provides us with a send bulk email to queue. And if we were to click on here, we would actually send out this email, which we won't do in this case. To look at the progress of your email that you've just sent out, you can click on the Sent Messages module. And in here is a list of all of the emails that you've sent out. It will show you the number of recipients that it went to, the date that it was sent, and the status of that particular email. If you were to click on the stats, of which you will then be able to see the statistics for this campaign. So the date sent, the number of recipients, how many people opened this particular email, the bounce rate, unopened, clicks for this email, and web sessions. Farther down below here you have emails open per day, and as the graph indicates, you can see how many emails were opened on each particular day, as well as the clicks for that email. You also have the ability to duplicate this particular message. Again, if it's a message that you will be sending out several times with the same template, but with perhaps slightly different content. You can also see what this message looked like by clicking on the preview icon here to be able to see the full message. And that's essentially how the bulk emailer works. You can compose and edit your email messages based on templates created by your designers and coders. Once sent, you can monitor the statistics of that campaign as well as see stats from previous sends. A few administrative items here as well. For the bulk emailer to work, you'll need to notify us of the email accounts you plan to send from in the Accounts module. We use a special SMTP service that requires us to register these emails. You can notify us of the email addresses through the ticket system. Also, as discussed between your company and Robinhood Technology, there is a per email fee when sending out bulk emails. You'll want to make sure you're aware of this fee before doing so. Lastly, email lists, such as the newsletter email list you saw in this example, are created in the Email Lists module, also located in the Marketing tab, which we'll discuss in another video.